Can't hear you. Maybe an issue with the sound.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. So where are you actually?
I'm in San Francisco, although today looks like it's no sun at all.
Yeah, I can tell. It really doesn't look like San Francisco right now. So I'm glad you were able to join. Maybe one of our team members might want to join in also, because I told the team about you, and some might be interested in listening in and offering up their advice as well. So, but they may or may not come on. We'll see in a minute here. So I'm going to go back to your email. Basically, what you feel like you need right now is mostly content, right? Blog content and social media management. Is that what you were saying, or give me a little bit more?
Starting with that, yes. I want to create. Sorry, it's too early for me, and I can't talk yet.
No, it's fine.
I want to create the content to have the view of the company online every day.
Yeah, I understand. So some consistent content out there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of familiar with the ELD trucking system. I actually worked with a software company called Maven Machines in the past. And they are, it's kind of like a software. It's like an interface. It's very user-friendly. It's like designed for the least tech-savvy truck driver out there. And it's kind of a remote diagnostic / dispatch / management system for all the trucks, tracking, everything. And it's all about also keeping the companies compliant with all of the ELD stuff. And so, so it was interesting that you mentioned that. I actually kind of want to know what your idea is, because you say that you have this idea of how it's going to make things easier for trucking companies, but what is it actually?
Well, first of all, this is a pivot from my other company. Truckerworld, my first company, was a drivers on-demand software. Basically, we'll connect the truck drivers to the truck, to the bigger corporations that they need a driver for a day or a month. Now, because the lack of funds and the team and so on, I was not able to build that company, and I decided to go towards smaller companies. Those are owner operators. So it's a one guy with one truck running and trying to build a company. And RelayMile focuses in dividing the long haul into portions to have these drivers home. Because I've been an owner operator myself, and I've been out on the road for 4 months at a time. It's too much. Divorces happen.
Yeah.
Health issues and so on. Now, our software and our company will have these drivers home, and we're going to help them build companies and so on, but that's secondary. Priority will be to find the load for them to be home.
Okay, so, but how does that help with the ELD mandates and compliance and all of that stuff? Is it because, you know, like they get tired on the road and it keeps them from going over on their miles or time? How is
That's actually a very good question. In the essence, RelayMile is, give me 1 second, the truck is passing by.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
You got me on a walk, and I was not able to get home.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, so in the essence, RelayMile doesn't help with the ELD issues, but what it does, it's again we divide into segmentation this long haul, so the drivers will only drive until the ELD allows them. So just an example, a driver drives about 11 hours a day legally.
Yes.
Now, we're gonna divide that 11 hours into 5 hours and a half, switch
Yeah.
the trailers, and come back home until your 11 hours. You park the truck, and then you're home for the night.
Have you talked to truckers about this? I mean, will they want to like sacrifice those hours, or do most of them want to just keep driving anyway?
They are, we are not sacrificing the hours. They don't have where to sleep. When this happens and you are going on the long run, you are sleeping in the truck parks,
Yeah.
right? And the noise, the living in a small box, and so on is not really towards our happiness and health. Now,
Hmm.
the same amount of hours driven per day, but you get home to see your family and sleep in your own bed, that will be the difference.
So when you talk to drivers about this, do they feel like, yeah, this is something that we need?
So the
Even the
biggest,
older ones?
I'm sorry.
Even the older ones, the older drivers.
So the biggest problem worldwide is that all the truck drivers, more the old ones, don't want to go out on the road for many days. They have family, kids are growing. When I grew up, I didn't see my dad for just once every two weeks,
Yeah.
and of course that pass tolls on them. Now, getting the same amount of salary and being home, have almost a 9 to 5 job, they, of course, they are more happy and more healthy. Yes, I spoke with them. uh, Something local, it's priority for them, but they are not able to without the software.
Have you ever been to any of the trucking conferences or conventions?
Yes, actually, I've been there in Dallas, Texas.
You have?
Yeah,
When?
a couple of years ago.
I was at the last one, and I could totally see you guys having a booth talking about this. I mean, I think that it's going to be virtual for a while, but I totally would invest in that, um, because it's a great networking, a connection opportunity. I mean, you can talk to more drivers all over, but then at the same time, there's a lot of trucking companies that are looking to make partnerships at these conventions. So I think that would be great. So as far as what you would like my advice on, give me some questions.
Okay, let's see. Well, after being on your website, I've seen that you hire interns to help you grow your business. I
Yeah.
would like to find the way to automate the system because I've tried before and it is a hard um, job to actually keep up with the demand. I
Yeah.
would love to learn how to automate the system, first of all.
How to automate like your processes for what exactly specifically?
To hire and help the interns uh, follow through the instructions, help them.
Oh, so kind of like to hire them, the process of like hiring them and then having them onboarded to do the stuff. That's what you mean? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. All right. All right. So that's one of the main things you want to learn from me.
yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. I can help you with that. Um, so how soon? Well, let me put it this way. January, the new semester is going to start. December is when you want to start figuring out what schools you would want to start marketing to and partnering with, right? This is going to be a remote position, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. How many people are you looking to take on?
I believe 3 or 4.
Do you have any assistants at all right now?
No, right
Okay.
now I'm by myself.
All right. Um, hmm. Okay. It still can be done. So it's a big task, but I can take you through it. All right. So anyway, December is when you want to kind of, so let's say if you started now, by the second week of December, you need to have everything already figured out on how it's going to be. And that way, December, you can start putting your stuff together on the platform that you're going to use, which I recommend Handshake. Is the platform that's most widely known and global. And then from there, then the process, I can have you like go down the line of the different things you would have to do. Now, have you watched my video about this?
I did. And there
Okay,
is a lot of good information. Actually, I already started. I jumped on Handshake. I created a couple, the information that they need, and I created a few requests. I'm getting denied, but with information of what to add to the site. That's very good feedback. I already started to put the big picture of what I'm looking for per each person and so on.
very good. So this is what you should do. We can start like this. You continue to go down your list of things from that video. And as you have questions along the way, ask. But once you get those things out of the way, then we can get to the list, the next step of lists. And that is just like more about being more organized, streamlined. And for instance, I'll give you an example. Do you know that Handshake has a limit of 10,000 messages you can send with your team?
No.
Okay. After that, you have to pay at minimum $8 per person that you have on it per month. So if you have about 16 people plus on Slack, that's going to get close to $200 per month. And the more people you add, it's going to keep growing and growing. So this morning we sent out an announcement that we're all moving to Facebook, a Facebook group, right? And what I'm going to have them do is every person on my team is going to create a new Facebook account for only doing business with my company. They're going to go on a private group for the company. So when they go on there, it's going to be their name, their middle initial, and their last name. So my assistant, her name would be Erica O. LeBeau. And then that's how I'll know to let her in the private group. Once they're in that group, all of the company messaging and everything will go in there. It's not as great as Slack, but it's going to help us keep the cost down, especially because our business is set to scale very quickly, and those costs are just going to just keep rising and rising. And it's, instead of me wasting time on figuring out how I'm going to create a budget for this, I'm just going to move everyone over to something free. And actually, I stole that from Facebook because that's what they do. And it's something that I learned when working with them. So that's why I'm using it for my company. But little things like that matter so much, because once you start bringing these people in, it's kind of like having a new baby. And now you have to buy all of these things and think of all of these things you've never thought about before. And so my contribution to you in this endeavor is going to be like giving you a heads up and kind of showing you the most streamlined way and most cost efficient way of managing your people. Is that something you would want? Okay, good.
Definitely.
So outside of the internship stuff, is there any other thing that you want help with?
Sure. If you are able to help me with let's put it this way. I am not very good at marketing my companies. I've built 50 plus companies in my life. Some of them success, some of them failure. And what I've seen that all of the failure ones are because the lack of
It's
marketing.
a crazy bird that's going nuts.
I know.
But I do get what you're saying. It's because of a lack of marketing. Totally. All right. So all right. You do understand what my company does. We have the interns, right? And the whole purpose of the program, at least on the surface level, is to give my interns work that they can do that's relevant to their field. Many of these people are post-grads, they're master's students. These are not 2-year degree students. These are not 4-year. A lot of these kids are really smart. Some of them are older than I am. But it's to give them that what they need for their career path, but then at the same time, give business owners and entrepreneurs like you the support you need at an accessible rate. So for a consultant, it's $100 a month. It's pay as you go. It's not a subscription. It's if you want to keep going, months a month, you can do that. Now, if you wanted to, now this doesn't affect you and I. You and I can keep talking about this stuff. If you wanted to have one of my interns come and help you with something and be assigned to you and work on your marketing exclusively, you can have that, and they can be your consultant for the $100 a month. Now, what they do is they will take the lead on all your projects, consult with you, help you create a strategy, milestones, and actually do the stuff. Not just tell you what you need, but they actually do it. And they have a team behind them. The types of lead consultants that we give are people who they're like jack of all trades. These are people who, they have data analytics background, they have web design, or they have app development, or they are content or social media people. And what I'm going to teach you is how to target interns who have all the skill sets that you need. Instead of just having one person for each thing, I can help you to find an all-in-one person who it could just be you two against the world, right? Until you start growing and growing. So, but yeah, we have interns like that, and then they work collaboratively. So you would have one intern, but there's the other interns that see your project. If they're interested in helping, they will assist that person with you. And so that'll be your little team. But I can teach you how to do this yourself. You can have help until that time with one of them. But I just wanted to let you know that this is how we work with you. For me personally, I can tell you to do the stuff, but I can't do the stuff for you. You get what I mean? And so I can be your go-to person. And that's the difference. A lot of times when people get into LeBeau Productions, they think LeBeau is going to be building their website, and I'm not going to be building their website. I have other people for that. So so that's that. Now, I just wanted to say this also. I work with other software developers, and what you're talking about, your last business that you pivoted from, connecting the drivers with the truck drivers, there's a business right now that I'm helping to develop that does the same thing, but for concrete jobs. They connect the worker with small concrete jobs. And if you're ever interested, they definitely need people who already understand the process of putting something like that together. And they're based here in Dallas, and we're all as a team helping them. And then there's another one that is sort of like the ELD type compliant thing, but that I'm working with, that is for boilers. So, and HVAC companies. And so they're seeking to do that similar thing, but for boilers and HVAC companies. So I'm a connector of people too. When I hear what you're good at, and I know somebody is looking for that, I'll throw your name out there and see if they want to bring you in on something. But just to let you know about those things. So while you're going through this process right now with the internship thing, do you have any questions so far on that?
There are a few documents that I will have to first Google before I spend your time on it, but there are a few documents that I am not sure what it is.
Mm-hmm. Documents such as what type of document? You have to let me know. You don't remember what they're called?
Give me a second. I do have my tasks on my
Okay.
phone.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Tasks. Okay, the first one, create a plan of communication. Actually, this is not a document, but I am not sure how to create this this plan of communication.
Create a plan of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's kind of like creating a protocol for communication, right? So I have like a protocol. If they are going to communicate with clients, they have to communicate over email, right? Reason being is because documentation,
Mm-hmm.
that's very important. And then those emails can be forwarded for you to include someone easily. If you try to have outside communication on outside platforms or over your phone, we can't really support you and back you up because the documentation is not the same. And then Slack is our primary form of communication. Now we're going to have the Facebook. So it's more about letting them know about your preferred methods of communicating and how you want that set up, what they need to do, the instructions, and then just letting them know the reason why it needs to be like that. And
Okay.
then also your hierarchy of communication. For instance, a lot of my business is running most of the time with me not knowing what's going on because there's such a filter to me that I don't hear about something unless it's an issue. So if you create an internal hierarchy of, okay, issues are submitted to this person, and then if that person can't resolve it, then it goes to this person or it goes to me, and then I only address those issues on Friday. And so that's what I mean.
Okay, that's actually much easier than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Can you tell me a little bit about the privacy policy and disclaimers?
Yeah,
Yes.
for the interns, okay. So the privacy policies is the privacy governance policy, which is a huge, huge document. And what I would do is I would find a simple, like one-pager privacy policy or an NDA that has a privacy policy included in it. Because basically that's them agreeing to keep your and your client's information confidential, because once they gain access to this information, there's nothing stopping them from downloading your entire CRM
Mm-hmm.
and doing whatever they want. At least if you have a policy in place, it says you can't do that. And you can't use my client information for any other purposes outside of our business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it means that more than 50% of these documents, I already have them from my past company.
Mm-hmm. And I would also combine your NDA with your consultant agreement. That's why it's less paperwork that you have to process. We're about to get crossover to this other subscription service that kind of streamlines that. You have to make it easy to pay you. So, and also whoever comes to work with you, it has to be a seamless process so that they can handle it without you, and you don't have to be brought on every time a contract needs to be created or signed. you should have a signature that they can go in and just put the signature in. The document's already made and it's done.
Okay. I'm not sure that at this level, as a startup, I'm able to do that because there are so many variables that I should be behind the logistics.
Yeah, yeah, but be prepared because once you actually start your internship, you'll be at that level very quickly. Then you'll find yourself needing to rush and create documents that you didn't anticipate. But honestly, if I were you, I would figure out all these documents that I need, write it out, have them already pre-made, because once you get there, you don't want to have money sitting there waiting and you can't take it because you don't have some silly contract that you already made. Now you have to have legal people look it over and you have to make sure that it's saying all the right things and all of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's very good information, and I will definitely follow up with that. Now, just one more. I know we don't have a lot more time. Create development outline. So from week to week, I did develop a timeline of what these people would help me with and what they will get out of it as value as well. But it's more of a half of a semester and the other half. So 1 to 6, 6 to 12, for example.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that will go out of the window. I found a simpler way, even after I made that video, to do that. And the simpler way is this. First of all, you have to keep their development in mind. They have mentorship needs. They have needs to job shadow. They have needs to interview people that are in their career path. They're coming on to your company to help you, but you have to keep their benefit in mind in everything that you do. When I go over our emails on Monday, go over our mission for the week, I mentor them right then. I train them right then. I give them suggestions and tips, take all of their questions right then in that space of time. I get that out of the way on the first day of the week so I don't have to think about it the rest of the week. So I'm giving them their task, but hey, here's your training, here's this, here's that. I also create training as I'm doing things. So for instance, if I was consulting with a client and it's a certain type of client I want them to learn how to consult with, I can record that, get the customer's permission to share it with the team, and they will study it, and my assistant will create a quiz based off of that, and that's their training for the week. And it's all purposeful. So whatever it is you're having them do, you have to have a reasoning behind it. For instance, a lot of my interns are geniuses, complete geniuses, but many of them will not be able to arise to the place they want to on their career path because they have a lack of presence and a lack of confidence. They can't speak up. They don't know how to pitch ideas. They don't know how to make presentations. Something very simple to many of us is hard for them. I give them many opportunities to learn how to do that. And so a lot of my training is centered around how to improve them and develop them in that way, so that when they go to their next place, not only do they have the brains, but they can also stand in front of a crowd and pitch whatever ideas they have confidently and attract investors or do whatever. So whatever it is that you have to learn, what type of interns are you bringing in? What are their goals? And then like tailor your program to helping support them in that way.
I like it.
Yeah. And so once I started having everyone come in, I created a Trello. Each person has a board with their very own name on it and with their very own task that only they can do based on their previous experience. I've gone through all of their with a fine-tooth comb, went over all of their resumes. So when I saw that they could do something, I gave them a task that's similar to that, but for the company's benefit. Now they're working on things that they're confident that they can do. Along with that, I've created general company tasks that need to be done. So if they don't have anything more to do in their personal tasks, they can go and pick through all of these boards and say, oh, that's cool, I want to work on that. Oh, I'll work on SEO this week, or I'll work on this week. And then outside of those things, there's client boards. So here's a company, here's a cookie company we're working with. Here's a nursing company we're working with. Here's an anime company we're working with. And here are all the tasks that they're doing. Do you want to jump on this team and help them out? And it's kind of like they get to choose based on their interests what they would like to work on. And so it keeps it fun and interesting. And every week I have more and more pouring in. So that is how I'm developing them towards their career, their weak areas, looking at their weak areas and trying to strengthen them, but also giving them opportunities to strengthen the things that, hey, maybe I'm a level beginner on websites, but if I help this company, it might sharpen my skills. So that's the type of development I'm talking about.
Okay, I really like the idea of that. I actually wanted to work with Trello for so long, but I didn't know where to find it. Now I know exactly what to implement.
Yeah, and just know, you know, a lot of these things like Trello, Slack, they have a free level. You'll find limitations really quickly, but there's also ways to find ways around it. And my assistant is really skilled in finding ways around feature limitations. Yeah, yeah. So I know how to hack Trello to get more features out of it. So that's awesome. So so yeah, and what I'll do after this is I will send you this recording so that you can go back and listen and take notes and do stuff.
I
Okay.
appreciate it, definitely.
Yeah. So anything else you have for me?
No, I will let you go for now as the time is up. But thank you very much for all this information. I will get back to everything what we've been through and finalize those steps. I really appreciate all the help.
Yeah, no problem. So let's look for January being the launch of your internship.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. And how do you pronounce your name?
Adrian, and the last name is Giorgio.
Okay. All right, Adrian, thanks so much. And I will talk to you later.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.